insane and unhinged leftist get arrested after he dares to assault Charlie Kirk and his Turning Point crew. Yes, it's not a joke, guys. These leftists are totally mad and unhinged and out of control, but thankfully, in this case, you'll see some sweet, sweet justice. So I think you're gonna enjoy it. So we're gonna get right into it, guys, but first, everybody, do me a big favor. Please like our video, share it around, and if you're new, subscribe to the Resistance Mainstream YouTube channel so we keep bringing you guys great content like this. As always, everybody, I'm your host, Darian. Thanks for tuning in, and let's get into the clip.
Well, I will say this. I'm fearful that there's too many people in this country that will resort to this, but I am hopeful that we had a good conversation. I would all agree with that. I'm none of the things that sign says. White nationalist, racist, sexist, anti-gay. But you know what's really sickening? Is there are racists out there.
You?
What have I ever said that's racist? Name one thing.
Able people.
Name one.
About racism and to fight enabling people and giving them a platform.
Like who? Like Candace Owens?
Exactly.
Oh, Candace Owens is a racist.
And you're the one who's gonna talk.
Name one thing I've ever done that's racist.
I don't have to speak to you any more than I have to, but the fact that you're talking to these people with such hate, you're going completely against what you're saying.
You notice how they never have any evidence for their claims? Like that girl right there. Well, I don't have to talk if I don't want to, blah, blah, blah. Just saying absolute nonsense. At the end of the day, she has no evidence Kirk is a racist because it's all in her head and she just wants to project her hatred onto other people. That really is what it comes down to. As always with the left, there's no evidence and just gaslighting to the max.
The hateful one where they say F Chuck and
Nothing. They're saying nothing and you're attacking them.
no, the signs talk for their hatred.
Okay, and so does your justice shirt with a racist on it.
Does it bother you who's on the Supreme Court? Does that trigger you?
The fact that you're wearing a rape apologist shirt.
He never raped anybody, nor was he ever accused of rape.
Whatever the you need to stop talking. Hi.
Just incredibly insufferable, isn't it? They're not talking. They just have stuff written on the signs. Yeah, okay. Do we even need to explain why that's totally disingenuous and dumb? I don't think we do. That aside, the histrionics the left pulls about Brett Kavanaugh are so infuriating and annoying to me. It's just totally hypocritical, that goes without saying, and totally dishonest. This whole idea that Kavanaugh is some kind of crazy rapist and is so bad and needs to be barred from the Supreme Court because of that. Where was that energy with Bill Clinton? Seriously, there's a lot more evidence that he was engaging in those kinds of horrible things than Brett Kavanaugh, and it's not even close. And I remember back in 2016 when Trump was running, so many leftists were frothing at the mouth about how evil Trump is. He's this abuser of women. He has to be kept away from the White House at all costs because of what he's doing to women, blah, blah, blah. Yet at the exact same time, they were all supporting Hillary Clinton. A quick little thought exercise, guy. Who is Hillary Clinton married to? If you said Bill Clinton, you are correct. And that just shows you that they are completely full of it. All right, let's not forget the Monica Lewinsky debacle. You have Juanita Broderick, who came out and very credibly explained why she is accusing Bill Clinton of doing that kind of heinous act against her. I remember when there were leftists screaming about how Trump couldn't be in the White House because we can't put a rapist in there. Then they turn around and support Hillary Clinton with no hint of irony and not even considering the fact that Bill Clinton is her husband and that he would move in the White House. Or maybe they did consider it and they're just incredibly dishonest. I don't know. It probably depends on the person in that case, whether they're being stupid, dishonest, or perhaps a bit of both.
And
Why do I need to stop talking?
you're bringing hate to this campus, and there was none before.
No, actually love and unity and conversation and agreement and pictures with Democrats, which I love. This is the hatred. Calling people racist man babies. There are real racist.
You had people been assaulted because of your organization.
No one's been assaulted because
at
of me.
Texas State. What about that? What do you have to say about that? Silence.
What do you mean? We have an event.
Silence.
We have an event there tonight.
No, because of the student government election, your organization on campus had it rigged. Yeah, you look away from me because you.
Isn't that disgusting? In case you missed that, she is not only justifying violence against conservatives, essentially, she's also saying it's their own fault. Think about what she just said. People got assaulted because of your event. at Texas State University. Who was doing the assaulting, lady? Important question that I think we need to talk about. Was it right-wingers, conservatives, Trump supporters, Charlie Kirk, people who affiliate themselves with Turning Point USA? That's a rhetorical question, obviously. Of course it wasn't, because it's always left-wingers committing the political violence. Are there very few cases of a right-winger doing it? Sure, maybe somewhere out there in the hyperspace. I'm not going to say that there's never a crappy thing done by people in the right wing, but the vast majority of cases you see are undoubtedly from the left. And there's no arguing this if you're an intellectually honest person. There just isn't. To go over a few examples that come to mind in just the past few years, who remembers that time at University of California, Berkeley, where a young man working for Turning Point USA got brutally assaulted by some student there? This guy was punched, he was bruised, really hurt badly. He had black eyes. It was not a pretty sight. And that left-winger did that and essentially just got a slap on the wrist. He barely got punished. It was disgusting. Also in the same city, Berkeley, we had a college professor who swung a bike lock at somebody and hit him in the head and seriously injured him. I mean, talk about a violent and disgusting thing to do. This isn't simply just throwing water at somebody, which is still heinous and horrible to do. This was a full-on attack and possibly an attempted murder. And frankly, it should have been charged and prosecuted as such, as far as I'm concerned. Guess what happened to that professor? Totally got a slap on the wrist. At first they did nothing, they didn't even charge him, but then there was so much outrage over it that police eventually went and arrested the guy and put some charges on. But he got off quite easy. You think those felons charges stuck? Of course not. All that happened to this professor, he just pled guilty, got some misdemeanor charge. Yeah, misdemeanor charge. That was it. And do you think he did time in the can? Of course not. No time in prison. And according to police and court documents, this same man had struck about 7 people total in the head with a bike lock. So it wasn't even a single attack. Here's a question for you guys. Do you think somebody like that should even be given a chance to live in polite society? That's an honest question. Somebody who, on 7 separate occasions, hit somebody in the head with a metal bike lock. Does that person deserve a chance to exist in polite society? I think if you really think about it, there's a very obvious answer conclusion you could come to. And it's not a pretty one for the perpetrator. And those aren't the only examples. I can think of plenty more, but for the purpose of the video, we'll leave it there for now.
You know, it's the truth.
So I'll allow our student members to talk about it. I will say this. There are real racists in the world.